Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to lecture number 7. And in today's lecture, we are going to solve another example on root locus. So the example is that we have been given the open transfer function GSHS as k into s plus 3 upon s square minus s minus 2. So this is a second order system. There are two open loop poles and there is one open loop zeros. So we start with finding n is 2 because there are two open loop poles. And what are these poles? P1 and P2. If you solve this quadratic equation, if you put denominator equal to 0, you will get open loop poles, and these poles are P1 is equal to 2 and another pole P2 is, let's say, minus 1. And we have m, that is number of open loop zeros. We have one open loop zeros, so m is equal to 1, and that 0, let's say it is z1, is at minus 3. So if I map this inside the S plane, it would be something like this. This is my real axis, this is imaginary axis, this is the S plane. So I have one pole P1 at 2. So 2 is here, let's say. This is 2. Okay. And I have one pole at minus 1. So here it is minus 1. Okay. And there is one 0 at minus 3. So this is 1 0. This is at minus 3. This is the pole 0 mapping. There is no complex pole, no complex zeros. If there are no complex pole, there is no complex zero. There is no point in calculating the angle of arrival for complex zeros and angle of departure for complex poles. We don't need to worry about angle of departure or angle of arrival. Now, since n is equal to 2 and m is equal to 1, so n minus m, which is equal to 1, so there is one asymptote. It means that out of these two branches, which is originating from these two poles, one branch will terminate at z1 equal to minus 3, other branch will move towards the infinity along the direction of asymptotes. So there is only one asymptote. Let us find the angle of asymptotes. Please remember the pole at P1, that is 2, P2 at minus 1 and Z1 at minus 3. So we will calculate the angle of asymptotes. So here angle of asymptotes is given by 2q plus 1 into 180 upon n minus n. And q goes from 0, 1, 2 up to n minus m minus 1. So this q will go up to 0 because n 2 m1, 2 minus 1, 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. So q will move up to 1. So there is only one asymptote. So if I put q is equal to 0, then it is 180 divided by n minus m. N minus m was 2 minus 1 was 1. So 180 degree. So 180 degree is the angle of asymptote. So where is 180 degree? This is 0 degree, this is 90 degree, this is 180 degree. So this is the asymptote. So one branch of the root locus will move towards the negative real axis along the direction of asymptote, that is 180 degree. So this is clear. And the other branch will terminate at open loop zeros at z1 is equal to minus 3. So we have calculated the angle of asymptotes as well. Now, since let's say the angle of asymptotes is 180 degree, this is angle of asymptotes. So there is no point in finding actually the centroid, right? Because this is the angle of asymptotes. it will be on the real axis only. So the negative real axis itself is angle of asymptotes. So there is no point in finding the centroid. Okay, I hope you understand, because this is the asymptotes. So there is no point in finding the centroid, because centroid is a point where the asymptote crosses the real axis. So if the asymptote is like this, then I need to find the centroid. But here the asymptote is this, so I don't need to find the centroid. Alright, now let me see the root locus on the real axis. So, as we discussed the mapping, so you can say there is one pole, there is one pole at this, at -2, there is one pole at -1, and there is 1, 0. If I extend this, there is 1, 0 at -3. Okay, this is the pole 0 mapping. Now I want to identify the line segment on the real axis which is a part of the root locus. So if I put this point to the right hand side of that, number of open loop real poles and zeros is 0, it is even. So this is not a part of the root locus. What about this point? Yes, because to the right hand side there is one pole, one is odd. So this is the part of the root locus. Entire this is the part of the root locus. So this is root locus. Okay. This is the root locus. What about this? This point to the right hand side, 1, 2. So it is even. It is not a part of the root locus. What about this point? Yes, 1, 2, 3. So it is a part of the root locus. So entire this line is a part of the root locus towards the infinity. Okay. So till infinity it is a part of the root locus, and we know that one branch is going towards the infinity. Okay, along the direction. So that would be probably this branch. But now the root locus. Now let me give the directions of the root locus branches. This is very, very important. Now the root locus starts from open loop pole. So it cannot go this way because it is not a part of the root locus. It will go in the right directions. So I can say, I can put arrow like this. This is also a part of the root locus. It cannot go to the right hand side. It will go to the left hand side. Okay, so this is the part of the root locus. So it means that the root locus from -1 and root locus from -2, they are approaching towards each other. So there would be a breakaway point, definitely. And here, if I give the direction, you can say that root locus cannot start from 0. So root locus, actually it is root locus terminates at 0. So I should give the arrow direction like this. It means that it cannot come from infinity, okay? It cannot come from infinity. So there is no angle of asymptotes as well. It means that when these two branches break, it should break in somewhere here, and one branch should go towards the infinity, other branch should go towards the 0, something like this. It is approaching, then this branch will break, branch will break, it will go like this, then again it will meet here, again it will meet here, then one branch will go towards this, another branch will go towards this. So this is towards infinity, this is towards the 0. Okay, something like this. So we have already now calculated the portion of the real axis, the line segment on the real axis, which is a part of the root locus. So I need to find breakaway points now. Let us find that. So for that I need to have a characteristic equation. So 1 plus g of s h of s equals to 0, and 1 plus k into s plus 3 upon s square minus s so 1 plus g of s h of s equals to 0. So this implies s square minus s minus 2 plus k s plus 3 equals to 0. Okay. Now for that breakaway points we have a formula, that is dk by ds. I need to equate to 0. So let me find the k on the left hand side. So k s plus 3, which is equal to minus of s square minus s minus 2, and k is equal to minus of s square minus s minus 2 upon s plus 3. Now I need to find the dk by ds. So dk by ds is equal to, we can use the division rule for the differentiation. So for that I need to put s plus 3 all square, then the derivative of this into this. So derivative of this is minus 2s minus 1 into s plus 3 minus. So minus of then this into derivative of this. So derivative of s plus 3 is 1, and I need to put this. So minus 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 plus. So you can say s square minus s minus 2 into 1. 1 is the derivative of s plus 3. Okay. So this implies this term dk by ds equals to 0. So this into 0, the denominator will vanish. So this, so 1, you can say 1 minus 2s into s plus 3 plus s square minus s minus 2 is equal to 0. So this is s plus 3 minus 2s square minus 6s plus s square minus s minus 2 is equal to 0. So minus 2s square s square, so minus s square, then minus s plus s gets cancelled into minus 6s, then 3 minus 2 is plus 1 is equal to 0. So s square plus 6s minus 1 is equal to 0. So so it is a quadratic equation, and its roots are, so s1 is equal to minus 6.2, and s2 you will get another root, that is minus 0.16. So these are the breakaway points. Now I need to select whether they are breakaway points or not. Both are real breakaway points, so the chances would be more, but I need to see that minus 6.2 it is a part of the root locus, or minus 0.1.6 is a part of the root locus or not. So earlier we have seen that it was something like this. There is here minus 2 or plus 2, minus 1, and this was minus 3, this was 0. Okay, so this was the part of the root locus, this is also a part of the root locus till infinity. So minus 6.2, yes, minus 6.2 is somewhere here, minus 6.2, it is a part of the root locus, so definitely this is a breakaway point. Minus 0.16 would be maybe here, minus 0.16, this is also a part of the root locus, so both are lying on the root locus segment. It means that there should be two breakaway points. So one would be breakaway point, another would be break-in point. So maybe this branch will go towards this branch will go towards this, and breakaway point they will break, and they can go to the break-in point here, they can go to the 6.2 here, breaking point. One branch will go towards this, another branch will go towards the infinity. So this would be probably the shape of the root locus. So we have calculated the breakaway points. There are 2 breakaway points, and we have identified that. Now the root locus crossing the imaginary axis. So that can be done via Raoult-Hurwitz criteria. So I need to write a characteristic equation first. So I am writing the characteristic equation. That is 1 plus g of s h of s equals to 0, and I have a characteristic equation something like this: s square the characteristic equation is something like this: s square plus s into, if I take the common factor, k minus 1 plus 3k minus 2. See, this is a constant part, okay? So this is the characteristic equation which is equal to 0. So I need to prepare a Raoult table. So I'll put the coefficient of s square and this, and then this and this, okay? So s square, the coefficient of s square is 1, coefficient of s raised to 0 is 3k minus 2. Then comes s raised to 1. S raised to 1 coefficient is k minus 1, and there is 0 here. Then s raised to 0. So this into this minus 0 divided by this. So it is nothing but 3k minus 2. Now I need to find the root locus when it crosses the imaginary axis. It means that it can cross at multiple times also, okay? Something like this. The root locus can cross like this also. Let's say it cross and then it again crosses, okay? So there are multiple ways, okay? So for that I need to make entire row to be 0. So this row cannot be 0 because there is 1 here. For any value of k, this row cannot be 0, s raised to 2. What about s raised to 1? Yes, that when this term is equal to 0, so k minus 1 equals to 0. So at that time the entire row becomes 0. So k minus 1 equal to 0, so k is equal to 1. If I put k is equal to 1 on the auxiliary polynomial, then s square plus 3 k is 1 minus 2. So s square plus 1 is equal to 0 for finding the roots. So s square is equal to minus 1. So s1, s2 is equal to plus minus j. Okay, plus minus j. So at this location, the root locus will cross the imaginary axis. Now this row also can be equal to 0. You can see this, s raised to 0. So for that, this also can be equal to 0. The entire row becomes 0. So 3k minus 2 is equal to 0. So 3k is equal to 2. So k is equal to 2 by 3. So it is actually 0.66. Okay. So for k is equal to 1 and for k is equal to 0.66, the root locus is crossing the imaginary axis. So so the root locus crosses at twice. Okay. Now what is the value of s at which? What is the value of closed loop pole when k is equal to 0.66? You can replace here s square plus s into 0.66 minus 1 this. Solve that, you will get the roots. Okay. So now let us check how it can cross. So we know that at k is equal to 1, my s is s1, s2 are plus minus j, and at k is equal to 0.66, I don't know what is the roots, okay? But you can find the roots if you put that value of k in the auxiliary equations. Now, So the root locus is something is behaving like this, that it crosses the imaginary axis and then it again crosses the imaginary axis. So twice. So there is one value of k1 here, there is another value of k2 here. This k1 would be less because the branch is, so it would be 0.66 and k2 you can say 1. So the branch is crossing like this, okay, something like this. It crosses at the two values. So now let us solve this. Let us sketch this entire root locus now. So you need to write S-plane. Okay, don't forget to write S-plane because there are other complex planes also. Apart from S-plane, there is a Z-plane also, discrete plane also, which is also a complex. So you need to write S-plane. This is the origin. Okay. Now this is -2. You can say this is -1, and there is one 0 at -3. This was the part of the root locus. Okay. This was also a part of the root locus. There is an arrow like this, there is an arrow like this, and there is an arrow towards the 0. Now let me identify the breakaway points. There is no centroid actually. This is -1. This is 180 degree asymptote towards this asymptotes where k is equal to infinite. Okay. Here k is equal to 0. Here k is equal to 0 and here k is equal to infinite because root locus starts from open loop pole with k is equal to 0. Root locus starts from open loop pole with k is equal to 0. Root locus terminates at k is equal to infinity at open loop 0, and root locus terminates either at infinity with k is equal to infinity. Now we have identified the breakaway points. You can see that breakaway points were 0.16 and there were two breakaway points. -0.16, so this is actually you can say -0.16, okay, and there is another breakaway point at here, so you can say this is -0.66, so there is another breakaway point here, okay. So root locus starts from this, root locus comes at this, and then it crosses the imaginary axis twice, so definitely it will move like this and it will go towards this. Okay, one branch, another branch. It is a symmetry now. Root locus is symmetrical about real axis. You can draw it like this now. You need to put arrow. Okay, arrow like this, arrow like this, arrow like this, arrow like this. So this is breakaway point. This is break in point. Okay, and this is at k is equal to point something 646. This was k is equal to 1. This is k is equal to 1. Okay. Now you need to find the value. So after break in, when the two branches are coming here, one branch will go towards the 0, another branch will go towards the infinity along the direction of axis. So here the branches are separated. Okay. So this is, you don't need to worry about the exact, the diameter or the. You need to just find worry about the shape of the root locus. So at what point it will cross here? The value is actually this point is at k equal 1. This was j omega. Okay, so this is minus j omega. This is plus j omega. This is minus j omega. And you need to find the value of k at the breakaway point. So what is the value of k here? What is the value of k here? You need to identify that. Okay, with the gain rule. Okay. So with this example is over. I'm going to upload the notes of this example also on the LMS. So thank you. We'll come with another example in the next class. Thank you.